Good morning, everyone. So my name is Nim, or you can go by my channel name and call me Elfie. I'm not very big on showing my face, so I don't know how often I will be posting kind of like podcast episodes where you will see my face. But I thought it might be fun to kind of do like a yarny, stitchy, crochet, knitting, fiber art type podcast video for you guys, so I could kind of show off everything I'm doing between videos, since it does take a while to do videos. So hi, I'm Nim. I like to knit, crochet, spin yarn, do wax seals, pretty much everything. I'll do anything. Cross stitch is a big one for me right now as well. But today I just kind of wanted to introduce myself more formally. So I'm Nim, obviously. I am 29 years old until next month when I turn 30. Yay. I am living in Maine, the state of Maine, and I am currently looking for a new home with my partner because a sudden rent increase. We're struggling. We have until September to find a home, so hopefully that goes well. But I thought we could just go over some of the things that I've done already. So I think the first thing I wanted to kind of show you is probably like the oldest thing, well, one of the few oldest things that I have completed. And so I don't have a whole lot of knitting, so I just thought we would start with some knitting. I don't really remember the name of the yarn. I can put it on screen. I have it saved on my Ravelry. I think I'm Nim Kitty on there. All my information will be in my description box. But this is, if I can find the top right, this is the Sonora Plus shawl, and this is a free pattern on Ravelry. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It has the star stitches and it just goes into these lovely lace motifs, and then we got this little eyelet one here, which was quite fun to do. And I just really love this, and you can see here that I thought a soft brown would go with pink. I don't have a whole lot in terms of hand-dyed yarns in my stash right now because I did just spend the last few years as a crochet designer. I do still try and write crochet patterns. I have a separate YouTube for that if you want them. And if you want to support me, I have my own website, which will also be in the description box, as well as an Etsy if you don't want to trust my website. I totally understand. But I write crochet patterns, I sell products, and I will show you some of those products that I am going to be listing soon but aren't listed yet. So the first knit I finished is this Sonora Plus shawl, and if you want more information on this, again, my Ravelry will be linked down below. This is my partner's cat coming to say hi. This is Sheba. She's probably not going to face the camera. She's a big baby. And I do have an autistic son. You can probably hear him in the background. He's nonverbal. He just turned 8. He may come out here. He can be quite loud sometimes, but that's okay. That's how he is. Okay, so I think that was the only knit I really have. I do have, sorry, I'm like wiggling my table around. Okay. I do have other knits planned. I actually, since I've been out of the knitting game for so long, but going back into it, as I'm throwing stuff on the floor, as I'm getting back into it, I found the ranunculus. I've not heard of anyone else stitching it before because I haven't really been watching podcasts in many, many years. But I saw the ranunculus, and that is going to be the next thing I make. This ball is a bad example because it's ripped, but I have a ton of woolies in DK. This might show up backwards on my camera, I'm not sure. But I have a ton of balls of this, and then you're gonna judge me. I ordered some Temu mohair because it's what I can afford. Okay, I don't really have much of an income. My shop doesn't do too good anymore because I wasn't very active for a while because my son requires a lot of at-home care. But you can see it's a lot brighter than the pink I wanted to use, but hopefully it'll even out or be fine just because it's one strand of mohair with all of this woolies. But I was going to do these together for my ranunculus and make kind of like a dusty pink color. I tend to like greens and browns, but I really wanted to knit it in dusty pink. I don't know what size I'm going to do yet. I think I was aiming for maybe like a medium, but I will see. It will be updated on my Ravelry once I figure that out. And then the other thing that is kind of a minority of what I do, sorry, I do have it in like a little trash bag because I don't know where else to put this stuff. I have like boxes and totes everywhere because I am packing again. So don't know if everything's going to storage, but so far we have not found a home. I don't really want to sleep in a car or hotel rooms, but it might be where we're going. So that's just a bag. So the minority, sorry, of what I do, another minority of what I do is I like to spin yarn, which I've mentioned. I have a Kiwi Ashford spinning wheel, and I have 3 drop spindles. You'll see my newest drop spindle in a minute. It's a Turkish one. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these are mostly like merino silk blends. This one I believe is merino alpaca. I can't tell you how much there is in any of these because I've never just been that into it. I don't know, it's like, there we go, because it's on tracking my face, but it's just these lovely creamy browns. I don't know what color it's going to show up on my screen, but I really love this one. This is probably my favorite spin. And then I have this one full of nips. The nips do fall out. I'm not totally sure how to get them to stay. And then, okay, this one's in 2 parts because this is one of my first few spins. So what happened here was the first ever spindle I spun on was too heavy, and once I had a certain amount of singles on it, it started breaking no matter what. So I split it and did the last bit on its own. So this is what they both look like, and this one has, I believe, a little bit of silk in it. It's wool silk and what is it, viscose, something else in there as well. But I have this much. I don't know how much that is, but a tiny little bit. And then I have a lot of similar colors. I'm trying not to spin similar colors, but it just keeps happening. And then I have this one here. This one's like a rougher type of wool. I can't remember if this one has alpaca in it or not, but I really like this one. It's not a whole lot. I think this one mostly was made out of a few sample Rolags that I ordered from somebody. And then we have this rainbow one. I don't know why I spin rainbows. I don't really like rainbow, but this one's kind of like faded. It's definitely more squishy and textured. This would definitely irritate your skin more. This is my first ever spin, ever at all. This is the first one. You can kind of tell it's a little messed up. The tension's kind of wrong. It is really thin though. And I did this on a drop spindle where the spindle's on the top. And then, I'll show you the last one in a second. Let me put these in the bag so I don't drop them everywhere. And then my last one is my most recent finish. I hated doing this one. I hated this so much. I hate it, hate it, hate it. This is another rainbow yarn, but I did try and plot it so the colors would mostly line up when well, actually, no, I didn't. I plotted it so it would go in a sequence, like a color sequence, but this is my first and only chain ply, if it will. And then what I did with this is I have a lot of wool locks, and so randomly I tried to weave in wool locks where it kind of fit in on the color, and those are in there, don't worry, those are in there. And it was just doing that and chain plying has made my ass. I did not enjoy it. I don't think I would do it again. It is pretty. Maybe if there was one I really liked. I do have some art bats, and I do have larger spools and attachments for my kiwi spinning wheel. So I would love to try doing art yarn at some point. It just really depends on my mood. But as of right now, where we're trying to move by the end of the month, I don't think it would be reasonable to pull that out. So what I did instead is I have all this scrap fiber from, I don't even remember buying this. I found it in my closet, and all I have are these 2 bags, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. I'm working on bag 1 right now, and I must have set these up when I was with my first partner, because those are definitely nothing I had recently or ordered recently. And what I mean by first partner is my ex-fiance. I was engaged at one point. But, okay, so my cats kind of ruined this one. That's why it's all like, but the rest of them are rolled up nicely. And it looks like I tucked in some of those little locks in there. And I don't like that this is so similar to my first ever spin, but where I consider this like trash scrap fiber, I was like, I'll just spin it on my new drop spindle. This is my new drop spindle. I paid extra for the dark wood. I am sad that they did not offer the center rod to be in the walnut as well, but there's like neps there was some random neps in there. I just kind of left them, but you can see that I've been spinning the locks into my singles. This is just going to be a 2-ply, and I'm allowing it to be thick and thin. It's just I so happened to end it on like a little thin bit, so it's kind of purpley right now. You can see the first one was kind of like a pale blue. So I'm just doing this by hand just to pass time, because I can't just sit and do the same thing for very long. But that is it for spinning. I don't know how much fiber is there. I want to say like 3 ounces, maybe less. I'm not totally sure. I forgot to put this back with my yarn. Okay, so I'm gonna start with first thing. I'm gonna start with the things I have less of. So I will put a video or a photo of the first one, or of the second one, but I'll show you the first one. So I've been making these crochet tops. I don't know what yarn this is. I found this at a thrift shop, but it was so pretty, and it's a nice little purple. I do unfortunately have the back laced already, just because I was gonna block this today, so it was prepared to go up on my shop. But you'll understand it more when I put the photo of the other one on. So I'll put that on screen now. And so the first one is 100% cotton. This one I suspect is like a rayon cotton blend, because it does feel like cotton. It is thin, and it holds that stitch definition really good. There is no pattern I used for this. I just kind of wung it based on a photo, but there is someone that does tutorials for the motifs that I used. And if I can find her, I will link those down below in case. You can probably take screenshots, guess the layout. It's not that difficult. I did do a bit of shaping to taper down in the back, just so it had more, so it would pull tight but like not go up into your armpit, so it goes down a little more. But that's just kind of one of the tops I made. And in that photo of, or actually I'll just include pictures of the skirts, because I don't want to go finesse my mannequin to rip the skirts off her. I will put pictures of the skirts on the screen too. Okay, and so I have 2 of those skirts. I have 4 or 5 more I want to make. I used Lion brand yarn. Give me 1 minute. Okay, So for the first two skirts, I used this, the Mandala bonus bundle, and I'll put the skirt pattern below too, don't worry, I got you guys. I didn't follow it exactly, I do modify it. This is a, trying to find the colorway. Okay, so this is a 3-weight and the colorway is Meowth. Again, I don't know if that's gonna be backwards. That's a cute colorway name, but I made those two skirts with this, and then I have another green skirt. I'll put a picture on screen now. And that one I made with just like regular Red Heart acrylics and I don't remember what it's called. It's like a thin fingering weight wool that I got from Knit Picks. I just kind of mix and match them, but I do list them and let people know what fibers are in it. But I want to make 2 more skirts, that's why I have a second one. And then I wanted to make 2 skirts out of this darker gray one because I wanted there to be more neutrals. A lot of their other colorways are like too bright for me. I'm trying to tone down the colors in my shop to be more neutral and boho-esque, so I thought this would be a good one. And it does have quite a bit of yarn in it, so it makes it really easy. It's like perfect for 2 skirts. I think the first one was 2 layers, the second one is 3. But that is what I did for those. And then the other thing I've been trying to do, so I'm trying to do some autumn stuff to put in my shop. Maybe this isn't like autumn enough, but I recently finished this Christmas stocking. This is my first ever Christmas stocking. I did not use a pattern, I just kind of went for it. I don't remember the name of this yarn. It was not cheap. I had it left over. I bought it from Amazon to make bumblebee dolls. I made the dolls, but they need their wings. And then I had a huge box of pom-poms, which is still full, and I had this kind of off-white cream one. It almost matches it. It's a little bit brighter, but I put that on there as well. And then what is this? I think I mixed 2 different puzzle yarns from Lion Brand on this because I didn't feel like one would be enough. And I don't know the colorway of them because I thrifted them. I like to save yarn from the thrift store if I can. I do kind of like haggle with the cashiers. You can do that at a Goodwill. If your Goodwill's like, oh, I want $8 for that ball of yarn, you're like, oh, that's not worth $8 at full retail. Like, you can ask them for a discount. I ended up paying for a huge bag of yarn the price of what they wanted for 1 ball. I paid $8 for a bunch of yarn, which is what they wanted for 1 ball. So I'm not paying that, I'm sorry. So I got that from the Goodwill. This one here, I don't know what this one is, but it's so squishy and soft. I think I'm gonna save the rest of this to put on like the collar of maybe like a baby sweater or something. I don't know. But that is going to be in my shop as well. And then the next thing, I don't want to knock stuff over. I'm making another stocking. And this one, I think this is homespun. It's really soft and fluffy. And then I have the rest of the dark colorway of the puzzle yarn. And so this is the Appline stitch. It's the same stitch I used on the first one. It is crochet, if I didn't clarify that. This is the Appline stitch, and I'm just using the brown for what would be the single crochet room, and I am working this Appline stitch in the round, not back and forth. But instead of doing the single crochet row is single crochet, I did it as a half double crochet, because you can see down here when I did it as a single crochet, you couldn't really see it coming through, and I really wanted it to come through. So I started messing around with the half double crochet, and it works. So this is going to be my second stocking that will be in my shop. I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and find an easy pattern that I don't have to use thicker yarn for, that doesn't take too long to work up, hopefully, because the only reason I'm not using other colors is because I don't want to spend forever on stockings. Not a lot sells in my shop anymore because, again, I haven't been that active until the past few months. And so nothing sells. I don't want to be putting in a bunch of time onto stuff no one's gonna buy. So that's just my opinion. And then the next oldest things, it's a little basket here. So I have 3 bags that I've actually done, and the handles are done in Kobu from Lion Brand. The rayon cotton, I love it, and I did the thermal stitch, so it doesn't stretch at all, so they do not stretch the handles. I again did not use a pattern. I have 2 like this that are similar, and I did use these little clasps here that I got from walmart.com. I spent so much money on like several different sizes before I got one that was actually the right size. Settled on the smallest ones. I wanted the smaller ones. So this is bag number 1. Bag number 2 is similar, only it's got like the pink in the middle, some oranges, and it's some brighter reds, or I guess reds in it. And then the third bag has the white handle, and I think this one might be my favorite. I don't know. And I don't have pictures of these yet, but I do want to put these in my shop as well pretty soon here. They're just kind of small little handbags. And then I have 2 things here I'm not sure if I want to put in my shop. And I'm sorry if I'm looking to the side. My camcorder's screen is folded out to the side over here. So these took me so long to make, and I would have to charge so much. There's no pattern. There is something similar on, I think, Lion Brand. They have a pattern with someone. I did not use that whatsoever. I looked at the picture and I was like, done, and I made it myself. So it's this little circular pouch, and I don't know if I want to list it because it took me so long to make that I don't know if people would want to pay the price. And it is made with discontinued yarn. It's like a Red Heart version of Caron Simply Soft, and then just like thin Red Heart, like 3-weight Red Heart. And then you can see I slip stitched beads, like these pearlescent colored beads, all the way around on the bag. And then it has like this, which I made sure as I was stitching these scallops, I slipped it into above it so it would stay. And then it has like this picot edge, and I put these tiny red beads, which they're like staining it, which is another reason why I'm not sure if I would want to sell this, because who wants to buy something with staining? And I was gonna line this, but I don't know, because I'm bad at sewing and I don't like the sound. But so this was the little round bag. I would be happy to list it if anyone did want to buy this. I would probably put it less than what it's worth, just because I don't know what to do with it. And then with that, I have a matching book cover, of course. Well, I mean, kind of matching. This one has a tulip motif. Again, no pattern. I just kind of freehanded this, but I did use the same ladybug pattern, though I did adjust the stitch count for it. And again, I put beads on there for it. So it's just kind of, wow, just kind of opens like this. It's very soft. And then the back is just kind of plain. There's no button or anything. I don't know if I would sell this either. So those are just kind of like chilling out, sitting in this little flat little serving tray of a basket. Okay, the next things I'm gonna put in my shop are these sets. So I don't remember which website I bought these patterns from. Again, I will link them down below. So there's this beret. I did put a little pearl on the top. I think this is the Blaze beret. Yeah, I think this is called the Blaze beret. I have 1 or 2 that doesn't have a cowl to go with it. These aren't meant to be like sister patterns. I just thought they would go good together. So this is the the Lion Brand Wool Ease in that pink color. And I saw it on Pinterest, I believe, and I just fell in love with the design on this. And so I had to buy it. But I don't really wear hats. And I'm not sure if I wear this right, but I have this in pink. And then for those, I have matching cowls because what are they if they don't have best friends, right? So I also got these cowls. I believe this is a Secret Garden cowl. I can also link that below. And then for the ties, they have you do like these little clover bits. And I put pearls on it. And they are glass pearls, so they have some weight to it just to make the tie a little bit cuter. So I'm going to be putting this pink set up in my shop soon. So just a pink set. And then I have this darker red one, and I did use a pinkish bead on this one instead of a pink or a white glass pearl, just so it kind of stood out a little more. And then here's the cowl for this one. And then I have a brown one going. I'm not sure if I had enough to do both. I think I have like a light brownish one from Wool Ease as well. I just need to do the little ties on the cowl, and then I think that set will be done too in case you want like a beige tan set. But so these are gonna go in my shop for autumn update. And okay, I guess I'll do bandanas last because I have a lot of these hats that are kind of sitting on my bandanas. So when I first started my Etsy shop in, I think 2020 it was, I made a bunch of these and they all pretty much sold out immediately. Maybe it was just because I was just starting my crochet journey. But I haven't blocked these yet. I do need to block them just so these little bits here hang down right. But I thought these were so cute. So I have so many of these. These are all pretty much the same size, you guys. If you have a baby and you want one, this is like the stretch. I would say a little bit older than newborn, and obviously the height is adjustable. So I have it in this, and I can do a tutorial for this on my other YouTube if you want. I do not post tutorials on this channel. I do it on the Dearest of Things YouTube, which I will also link below. But I don't have a pattern for these, but I can easily do a video for you guys if you want to see. And I have changed it to work better than when I first started crocheting. So, I mean, I didn't just start crocheting in 2020, but that's when I started doing it professionally. I do have a few bestsellers. So I have this cute peachy one with the pale green. Honestly, I'm just going to throw them on the floor. Don't worry, I have a towel down. It's clean. I have this one with brown. And this is, I love this yarn, so they are super squishy and soft. I have two of these kind of blue ones. So one with the dark green stem. And then I have one with a woolen dark brown stem. And then I have two gray ones. So a gray with the dark green stem, and then a gray with a regular brown stem. And then I thought I had two greens. I guess I only have one green one, and it has a light brown stem. I have one weird yellow shade. Again, I will block these and they will stay better. I have one yellow shade and it has the brown stem. I have three orange colors. So I have an orange with the dark green. This is kind of like what I would consider the normal pumpkin one. And then, oh wait. And then I did a version where it just has the light green, and I'm more than happy to make more of these pumpkin, the orange ones, because I know a lot of people want regular ones, and I only made three. Well, I guess technically I have 4. One of them's like weird though. And then I have one with the brown. And then this one's kind of pinkish. It's like a pinkish orange. I don't think it's gonna show appropriately. With the light green. And then I have 2 normal colors, like tan beige colors. And so I have, this one's more like a very, very, very faint beige. And then I have an off-white with a very dark stem. And these stems are sewn down, or the leaves are sewn down, so they don't kind of go up and everywhere. But this is the last one I have. And this is more of an eggshell cream white. And I think that is it for those. And sorry, I keep looking at them. If you're just wondering, here, just take a look now. I have stretched ears. Sometimes you'll see me wearing plugs. Right now I'm wearing weights. And I do have pointed ears. They were surgically modified when I freshly turned 18. So, gosh, they're so old now. Okay, and then the biggest pains in my butt. And I'm not sure how I want to stage the photos for these, but I will do it. I will figure it out. Okay, so I spent a good chunk of time at the end of winter doing a bunch of bandanas. And I don't have patterns, again, at least not for these fringe ones. I just kind of wung it. So I made tulip bandanas in this pink color with the fringe. And I'm going to be putting all of these on my shop soon for autumn. So I have this pink tulip one. And then my second fringe one is this green and yellow tulip bandana. And I think this one's probably my favorite one. And then I do have a pattern for this. I believe I paid for it on Ko-fi though. I will have to look for the email or find the download and tell you where to find it in the description. But I made a bunch of these leaf bandanas. I thought they were so stinking cute. So I have this orange one, like this, it's kind of like a rusty orange. Again, I'm not sure if my camera's gonna pick that up. And you, here, I'll pick one with more contrast to show you. This green one. And what you do, and I did block these already, that's why they're so floppy. You just kind of like slip stitch to create your little veins. You don't have to add them in there. You can change them up too. I did them all the same on all of my bandanas. So the dark orange, I have this green one. I tried to do autumn colors. I have this red one, which I think I might like this red one. And I'm not a fan of red, but I do really like the way this one turned out. And then I have this kind of mustard one. This one's really floppy because this yarn, the yarn on most of these is like the equivalent of Caron Simply Soft. Again, it was like a discontinued red heart that I got from my partner's grandmother who passed away. When she passed away, I got a bunch of her yarn. And I'm sad that so much of it was discontinued. And then these last 3 are the biggest pain in my butt. They took so long to make. But I will still sell them. I probably won't charge what I spent in time on them, but I do really like the way they look. So this is the first one I ever made, and this is when I was with my fiance, not my current partner. And I pretty much copied what the video tutorial was because it's a very underrated video on YouTube. I will link her if I can find it again. I had a really hard time finding it in the first place, but I'm pretty sure on one of my many YouTubes I have it saved. So I have that purple one, and then the next one I did was actually this one. I'm trying to make sure I get the fronts. So this is the second one I did, and this is the one I did recently, and I used 4-ply milk cotton, which is kind of a little bit thicker. It's like probably a 3-weight, 2-weight yarn, and you just kind of work. So how you make the pom-pom is you do like a cluster of double crochets, and then when you finish that cluster, you chain up and you work the next cluster into that, and then you fold it in half and slip back into this loop here. It's a lot of weaving in ends, it's a lot of work, it's a pain in the butt, but I really like the pom-pom look. They're just so cute. So I got the brown one. And then the last one I did was this green and white one, which I really like the colors on this one. And these are blocked as well. I did block these. And so those are also going to be up in my shop. And oh my goodness, there's so many of them. And then the last thing I have that is like ready to be posted, I'm gonna have to cut this because I tied them together just for safekeeping. Okay, I've been really into crocheting scrunchies. This is the first one I ever did, and it took me so long because there was like over 100 stitches in the base here, and then this is like all trebles in the back, and then the peacock edging took so long, and then you had to go and like do it again. And it's just so big. This one's so big and voluptuous. She big girl. But I love it. I love it. And since I need like fillers for my shop, because I'm trying to kind of have more than just what there is. Some of this stuff is falling behind me. I ordered some pre-made scrunchies. Don't judge me, they're fillers, just because I know people aren't gonna look at this and be like, oh, that's worth $30, because this took me hours to make. But I have 2 sets of exactly the same scrunchies. So scrunchie 1 is a handmade scrunchie in white and burgundy, or I guess it's off-white in person. So it's like mine, like my big one, but I used double crochets instead of trebles, and I only used about 65 stitches on the inside for this scrunchie, and this is 100% recycled cotton, so you can feel good about it if you do buy these. And then it comes with, I'm going to include it with this soft white scrunchie, so I'm just gonna, here, I'll put them on for you so you can kind of see them all. So this one, the soft white one, and then I have these ones that have like patterns on it that are also red, so I thought that would be perfect in this set. And then I have a second hand. The cats are having a tussle, a little tiff in the bathroom. This is the second hand crocheted one. This one didn't take as long, surprisingly, because I didn't have to do the peacock edging. But there's 2 layers. I worked in the front loop and back loop, but I did turn to make sure the right side is facing out on both. So this is the second handmade scrunchie. And then we have this one, which is just kind of like this really cute mesh rose put onto a silky looking scrunchie. And so these are the sets, and I have 2 of each so far. I have several sets planned. These are just the first 2 I finished. I have so many other sets that I want to do that are cute. I have ones that have like tulip flowers that I like tied to the scrunchies as well, but I just thought people would be more likely to buy scrunchies from me if I turned them into sets and included some of these other ones for free, just because, you know, I feel like people don't really appreciate handmade scrunchies that much, at least not crocheted ones. But this is beautiful. I love this. We love this. We want this. And it's cotton. So I have 2 sets of these. I think they're gonna go in my shop for around $25 to $30. I'm not sure yet. We will see. But I think that is pretty much everything I have to show this time. I'm trying to think. I have 2 other tops I need to finish for a pattern I wrote. The pattern is up on my YouTube for free right now, my other YouTube. I'll put a picture of that on screen now in case you're interested, because I feel like not a lot of people are. So that is already up on my YouTube along with a few other tutorials. and I'm trying to think. I want to find other things to do for autumn. I might try, I already said I might try and do more of the Christmas stockings. I forgot what they were called. And then I want to do more of the beret and cowl sets just because they're like really cute, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I need more. I do have plenty of stuff on my website already for like babies and such. I also have a few handmade sweaters, some shrugs, some miscellaneous things, keychains, tool supplies, stitch markers if you're interested, but maybe I'll show that in another video if I get to making more stitch markers, because I only have one type right now. I do have several sets made, but only one type, but we will see. Anyways, thank you guys for clicking on my video. This is probably the first time I've ever like done a video on YouTube where I showed my face. I do have other YouTube channels which I don't share with each other, but I don't show my face on them either. They're primarily like my hands and certain crafting, kind of like how this one is primarily going to be, though we'll see how this video does. I might interchange my no talking, calm, long form videos with actual podcast type videos. So I'm gonna, I don't know what to call the series where I show my face, but I will make a separate playlist for videos where my face is shown, just in case. Thank you for showing any interest in my video. Again, I'm a very insecure person, so sorry if I seem a little awkward. I do have autism as well, on top of my son having autism, and I gotta say, he did really good being quiet this video. This is almost unheard of. I was so nervous to record because I was so sure he would come out here, and I don't want him being on video in that kind of way. I do try and hide his face, but he did really good today. So thank you guys for taking time and showing any interest in my video at all. I will continue to knit and crochet. I do want to knit some shorty socks soon here. All my socks are like getting holes in them, and as I say that, my pinky toe is poking out through a hole in my sock. So I'm probably gonna take some of my hand-dyed stash that I do still have and knit myself some socks. I might do that later today. But thank you guys for clicking on my video and showing any interest. I hope you saw something you liked. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments down below if you have any. Well, thank you guys for spending time with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.